My mom sleeps with the door closed. Doesn't she know I'm afraid of the dark? Fuck her. Am I right? This is randomly on an IGN review. I once milked a male horse for sustenance. My sister watched as a horse galloped in excitement. And this is under the most painful experience of my life video. I mean, if you added a little bit more, maybe there's more to the story, but jerking off upside down is not a crime of passion. And that's under a video titled I'm Leaving IGN. And then we have this one, which is probably the holy grail. Call of Duty made me a king among the kindergartners. A literal fucking king. Have any of you seen their jaws hit the ground when they see you 360 no-scope their best friend Billy for disobeying the 30-minute napping rule? Billy was defiant to stay awake, but that Kyle Crane Tarzan kick from the second story changed his opinion on KOs real quick. And that beautiful comment is left under a video titled Attention all Dark Souls fans. So I'm sure you guys can see the correlation there. There isn't any. Missing the point. That's something we're all guilty of, including myself. Doesn't matter what type of media we're talking about. A magazine, a conversation, a video on YouTube, a movie, just a general opinion. We all receive this type of information with our own preconceived notions that could be right or wrong, and those notions strongly dictate how we receive and engage with this information. As a content creator, I'm honest. There's a lot of times that I miss the point and lead people astray to what I'm trying to say or what I'm doing. A prime example, my crap reviews, right? I make fun of reviews across the board, bad hot takes, pushing personal agendas.
Where do you begin talking about Grand Theft Auto 5? Perhaps serious issues with women.
That is a real GameSpot review that is still up. A real gem, if you guys want to check it out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a comment. I already did. Just reading that one, I clearly missed the point of that video. Not even close. In that regard, I missed the point as a viewer. But in terms of crap reviews, those are more all about investing more time in your script rather than playing the game you're supposed to be reviewing. Just lighthearted poking fun at people's ignorance, their arrogance, their willingness to delete comments and just flat out ignore any type of constructive criticism and identify it as hate. That's the whole point of that series. Yet I give off the impression that I don't like gaming journalists. I give off the impression that I don't like gaming reviewers across the board, and that's completely my fault. I take that on the chin. I don't do a good job at showing, hey, there is an audience for this type of content, yet maybe the way you're going about it isn't the best way of doing it. And that's just an example. As a creator, no one, including myself, is above any type of criticism. We get stuff wrong. Sub counts don't enforce our opinions. They don't validate us. That stuff doesn't increase our worth. But it's not just content creators that are guilty of this. Video games do the exact same thing, and the developers behind these video games. I'd say in this way, missing the point can be presented in one of two ways. You can take the form of an established IP that was successful enough to generate enough revenue and excitement for a sequel, and in the execution of the sequel, you pretty much show everyone that you had no clue what made the original or even the previous games, if we're talking about a line of games, so successful and so appealing. We can find this in the Fear series and even the Dead Space series. Games that people fell in love with because they were so different and so good at what they were trying to do. In the survivor horror scene, and then as the IPs progressed and got older, they started to stray more and more away from what made them unique. They started to become action-packed and just another mediocre game at trying to cash in on what's popular. We can go a step further and say not only developers but publishers are completely missing the point. A great example is pretty much anything EA has ever done or said in the last couple years. Whether if we're talking about Battlefield 5 and people complaining about how unrealistic that game is, and them countering with you don't have to buy the fucking game. That's a good one. That's top tier right there. Or recently them yet again saying that loot boxes are surprise mechanics. People love to be surprised. Technically you can say that if they love to be surprised, then that gambling and gaming addiction that they say they have doesn't really exist. Their addiction comes from being happy, from being surprised. They love to be surprised. So EA in turn is contributing to their happiness, which by the way, in that context, now this article makes sense. EA says I struggle with the perception that we're just a bunch of bad guys. Well, there you go. I just explained the mentality there. But as I demonstrated at the start of this video, missing the point can both be humorous and hilarious with how out of context some things are taken, or it can be incredibly frustrating because you're ignored, you're misunderstood, people aren't listening, kind of like right here, where I asked for help, and this dude said, I bet you won't make a video out of this comment. What the fuck did that have to do with anything? So moral of the story, well, first off, I thought this video was pretty entertaining in of itself, but this was kind of my response to a video I made a couple days ago on microtransactions being added into Doom Eternal. Wrong label, right label, it doesn't matter. It's a very dumb argument. When it boils down to it, it's honestly just a matter of perspective. I'm not here to fight. If I wanted to do that, I would have made a video directly addressing that. I think it's a very dumb argument to begin with. All I was saying in this video was, regardless of whatever you read, watch, hear, believe, it doesn't matter. If people are misinformed on a specific topic, or you see something that immediately sparks anger or frustration, it's a good idea to hear what people are saying rather than just outright attacking them for their ignorance or them being poorly educated on the topic at hand. That was all I was saying. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I don't even have an outro.